Thank you so much for watching the previous video. I was walking around University of Toronto to inspire people who want to go and study from there. Like I mentioned, my dream is to awaken the champion within you so that I can inspire you to reach your full potential. That is the major reason why I started this journey of YouTube. And we will have a mixture of videos on this channel. Sometimes I'll take you to a place and then show you around. That place can be in New York City, it can be in Africa, it can be anywhere. And then sometimes we are going to sit down and talk about different topics. So today I want to highlight about few differences between North America and Africa. When we talk about Africa, Africa is a very big continent, and we almost have 1.5 billion people. So I just want to speak few differences from my point of view or from my own experience. Just know that this is my personal experience because I got a chance to stay in Africa, especially in East Africa, in Uganda. And then I got a chance to stay in Canada and briefly in the United States. So I've seen both countries. I'm not an expert, but I just want to share with you what I think is different from each other. The major difference is the social life. In North America, we have social life, yes, but not to that extent of the African. In Africa, we have too much time on ourselves. We have too much time to go meet our friends, meet our uncles, meet our grannies. And so we don't take things very serious. And when I say that, I don't mean like we are not serious with life, but we are okay to spend a couple of nights to our friends' house than here. Here everything is more programmed. Everything is done according to the schedule. And when I say that, I mean in big cities or in small cities. Number two, the cost of living. One guy mentioned that you should buy land because the land is not being manufactured anymore. When you go to New York, especially in New York, you can see it is the grandest capital of capitalism. When you go downtown Toronto and you see the skyscrapers and you see these shopping malls, people buying stuff. So the cost of living in North America is extremely high compared to the cost of living in Africa. Even when we go to these very developed cities like Johannesburg, or you go to Cape Town, or you go to Cairo, when you change the dollars, the cost of living still in America is very high. I'm gonna give you an example. If you wanna rent a 2-bedroom apartment in Toronto, let's assume the GTA, or in New York, the least amount you're looking at $2,500. Yet when you rent the same apartment in Kampala or in Lusaka or in Nairobi or in Kigali or in Dar es Salaam or in Cairo, you may pay less than $500 for the same apartment. So the cost of living here in North America is extremely high, and then the cost of living in Africa is relatively low, depending where you are coming from and depending on how much you earn. Number three, the health system is different. Number one, first of all, the health system in North America is highly commercialized. Forgive me if you come from Canada, because I know in Canada, health system is free, but at the same time, people complain about high levels of taxation. I had a conversation with somebody one day, and he said, "You think we get free health care in Canada? and but they tax me almost 35% of my income. So indirectly I'm paying, but at least you have a guarantee that when you have to go see a doctor, you don't have to pay. So that is Canada. Depending, every province have a different way how they deal with it. But in America, you have private insurance, and you have to pay these insurances monthly. But if you want to see a doctor, you see a doctor immediately. So the health sector is very developed and very sensitive and very catered for in North America. In Africa, it's very bad to make a general comment because I believe South Africa has the best medication, better than some of the places here in America. Because when you go to Cape Town, you'll go to St. Bernard Hospital. That's where the first heart transplant was performed. So South Africa has a very good medical process or medical sector, and they have those highly qualified doctors, and they are taught in South Africa. Remember, South Africa went through a period when everybody boycotted the country of South Africa, when they put sanctions on their country. So they developed skills. They learned to survive without other parts of the world. So when I say Africa, I'm not meaning every part of Africa, but I'm saying this compared where I have lived. In Uganda, the health sector is still poor because when the government officials get sick, I remember we had a former, actually is late, a former Speaker of Parliament, Jacob Olanya, when he had issues with his medical, whatever, his health was deteriorating and he had to fly. They had to fly him over to the US specifically to get medical attention. Recently, they had another another big official. He had cancer, and then he had to travel to Germany. So most of the people from my country, when they get sick, they fly over to Europe, or they come to America, or they go to Australia to get the special health care. So putting that apart, then food is very different. We have organic food in Africa. Our land is not yet manipulated. Our land is still virgin. We can still grow crops, and then they are very, very nutrients. So the food, we don't keep food in the fridge like they do in America. I'm not saying all the part of North America they keep the food in the fridge, but actually you will never visit any homestead here without a fridge in North America. In Africa, so many people don't have fridges, especially where I come from Uganda. When you go to rural areas, you realize that people depend on natural food throughout. The grandmama will wake up, she will go to the garden, pick something, come, prepare it, and eat it. Ironically, our lifespan is not as that of the Americans. I don't know why. I think maybe because of the health sector, because of the poor health sectors we have in some parts of Africa. That's why we can't have that long span of life like the Americans have or the Europeans. But I miss that kind of a lifestyle when I need to eat chicken, and then somebody will grab that chicken, and then they'll remove the feathers, like, they pluck the feathers out, then somebody will just cut off the head and clean it, and then he or she will go do a barbecue there, or she will cook it and you'll eat it. I miss that taste. So the food is very different. But again, there are some nice places too in North America whereby people eat organic food, whereby people feed organically. Then our schools. North America has some of the top education institutions. When you look at universities like Stanford, universities like University of Toronto, when you look at New York City University, when you look at Harvard, Princeton. So when it comes to research and education, North America is up there in the sky. And these universities attract the the world's best students. So they come here, and once you go through these education systems, you go through these universities, you end up leading global companies. You end up becoming the CEO of Amazon. You end up becoming the CEO of Google. You end up becoming the CEO of Apple. So these top companies always seeking students who have graduated from top American universities. But that does not mean, education is funny. Nelson Mandela once said that education is the major engine for personal development. Remember, Nelson Mandela was a peaceful man, but when he came to address the issue of education, he became militant. He called education a weapon. So it depends how you see education, because sometimes the best education, we don't even get it in lecture rooms. Sometimes you may go through a situation that teaches you, and you become the best version of yourself because of that experience. But again, you need the classroom, you need the lecture rooms, because you have to think critically, you have to do research. So our education is still backwards. We struggle in that area. We have one of the top universities in Uganda, it's called Makerere University, but because of bad governments, our education is really falling apart. Then the rules and regulations, they are different. I'm sorry to say that the entire Africa, because when I talk about this, I mean every country has their own rules and regulations. I noticed that everything you do in North America, people are constantly aware of the rules and regulations. At home, we don't pay attention to rules and regulations. Sometimes we depend on a technical know-how. You have a guy, and a guy has a guy, and then a service is delivered. Here in North America, you have to follow the procedure. You have to follow the rules and regulations, because at any time, at any point in life, the law can catch up with you. Back in Africa, people don't pay attention to rules and regulations. I give you a practical example here. You can't just go and leave your baby somewhere. No. That person must have a license to be able to keep kids. So in Africa, you just walk to your grandmama and you say, hey, grandmama, I'm going to leave my kid here for the next 1 week. And the school won't ask. Nobody's going to even ask, as long as you negotiate with your grandmama or with your friend. Here, you have to do things right. If a kid doesn't report to school, the school is going to call. They have to find out why the kid is not in school. In Africa, it's opposite. People don't pay more attention to details when it comes to rules and regulation. Here, you have even to sign the confidentiality form. Like, everybody is aware that I may be sued the following day. So that mindset of following the rules and regulation is very, very different. Then the middle class. A lot of people have jobs in North America. A lot of people are working. We have very high unemployment in Africa. And this is very, very serious when it comes to East Africa, even in those developed countries like South Africa, because we call South Africa a European country in Africa. Still, they struggle with the issue of income inequality. So it means the rich are very rich and the poor are very poor. In North America here, yes, the people are very rich, because remember, North America is the grandest capital of capitalism. We are talking about cities like New York. We are speaking about San Francisco. We are talking about Toronto or Vancouver. So the cost of living here and the level of capitalism here requires a very strong middle class. In Africa, our middle class, it cannot be compared to the one in North America. Then the social life. We have a lot of social life in Africa. We don't take things very serious. Like yes, we work, yes, we are serious, we have sense of humor, but at the same time, we we have a lot of time for ourselves. That's why we have a lot of people in Africa. That's why there's a very big difference between the population of North America than the population of Africa. We make more babies. We have more time with our wives. We have more times with our partners, and it's because the job market is low. So in North America, you guys have what we call the 24-hour economy. You will wake up at 2 a.m. in the morning, and you'll go to 39th Street in New York, and you'll have access to McDonald's. It's very rare in my country to have a 24-hour restaurant or a 24-hour economy like it is here. So it means if you have a 24-hour economy, people are working night and day. The health sector here in North America, when you are working in hospitals, when you are working in nursing homes, the clock of the health care is 24/7. So as people are going to work in the night, others are coming out. So just think about it. If you have a partner who is working in the night and you are working in the day, it means you may not even have enough time together. So social life in Africa is more affordable, is more conducive, is more at our hands than here. Here people are chasing the day-to-day bills. People want more dollars and more dollars and more dollars. So in Africa, we have a lot of free time for ourselves. That's why mental health has hit much more in Europe, in America, because we are programmed to be robots here. We are programmed for self-reliance. We are working. We are looking for dollars 24 hours. Which other difference? Let me see. Transportation. When it comes to infrastructure with transportation, North America has one of the best road transportation. I'm gonna give you an example. You can easily drive from New York to California, and you are assured that you're gonna get there safer than to drive from Kampala to Mombasa, because it's not that you're a bad driver, but the road infrastructure doesn't favor you, or there are more chances that you may end up in an accident. I'm not saying that it happens all the time, but the roads are very good in North America. But again, I've never been to Cairo. There are so many African countries I've never been to, but I was in South Africa, and South Africa has the best roads in Africa. But that is according to my understanding. When you look at, I remember I jumped on the bus from Johannesburg to Cape Town, and I'll never forget that memory. The roads are very beautiful. They are constructed nicely. They are good. And when I say they are good, actually South Africa has better roads than some cities both in North America and in Europe. So not everything we see on TV, because sometimes the TV just shows you the negative part of Africa, but there are some good things in Africa too, because Africa is very big and Africa is classified. The life in Egypt is different from the life in Zambia. But I know when it comes to the infrastructure, when it comes to road construction, Canada or America, they are good. They are good. But again, in Africa, we also have some good roads, especially in South Africa. The roads are very perfect. I spoke about the income inequality, yes. And then finally, before I leave, the major difference between Africa and North America is the attitude, our attitude to success. In North America, it seems like we are programmed. We must succeed by all means. And capitalism consumes our mindset the moment we turn 19 or 18. In Africa, we take it slow. Like, we only discover about capitalism when we face major challenges, because it's like in the Western world, they tell you by 4 years you must be in kindergarten. By this amount of time you must have finished high school. By this time of time you must have finished university. By this time of time you must have finished, you must have a family, you must have a job. In Africa it's different. No one is putting pressure on you. Yes, there is pressure at some time, like some point of life there's pressure, but it's not too much emphasized the way it is in North America. I don't want to go beyond 22, 23 minutes. I'll come back and discuss the similarities and some of the differences I left out. And maybe in the near future, when I learn more of editing, I'll be able to bring you more factual points and more factual stuff from Africa. But I love Africa. I love North America. I have been very privileged that I've lived both sides and I've seen it. So guys, do me a favor, subscribe and share the video so that you keep me going on YouTube. And don't forget, persistence wears out resistance. One day you're gonna become that champion out of yourself. Thank you so much. See you in the next video. I don't know the next video, maybe I'm gonna go to Niagara Falls and move you around. Thank you so much. God bless you. See you. Bye.